in early December, maybe it was December 2nd or something, I climbed on a plane, put on my dress uniform, but the green uniform that Marines wear, and climbed on a C-130, and we were flown back to Guam for eventual transition to San Francisco to be released from the service. That was the end of my 5 years. And I sat next to a young Army private first class, I guess, and I looked at his uniform, and he had served in the 1st Cavalry Division, and he had been stationed at Dong Xoai, and I knew that we started talking. We had hours to talk,
yeah.
And I started talking to him, and he said that he had been in Dong Xoai, and I'd heard that a unit had gotten overrun in Dong Xoai by the VC. Not totally overrun, but totally, a lot of people hurt and killed. And he started telling me his story, and it turns out he was in a foxhole with his best buddy, who was dead for 20 hours without any medical help. And finally they got him out. And so long story short, we flew to Guam and then got on another plane, another plane, and went to San Francisco. And as we entered San Francisco, the pilot tipped his wings to the left, showed everybody on the right the Golden Gate Bridge, and then did the same thing on the right, and tipped it to the right. And I was watching this little private, and the tears start streaming down his face. And I said, "Does that look pretty good to you, Private?" And he said, "Yes, sir, Lieutenant." He said, "About 3 or 4 weeks ago, I never thought I was going to see this place again." So that's not quite the end of the story. So we landed, and I wished him goodbye and a good Christmas. Hard for him to have a Merry Christmas, but I'm sure he had a Christmas with very mixed emotions. And he went his way, and I was in the process of being released. So I went. I put on my civilian clothes, checked into a nice hotel, went down to the restaurant, and I ordered 2 big whole glasses of whole milk. And I was sitting there just luxuriating and enjoying this whole milk, because we'd had powdered milk in it. And the couple next to me is arguing about how their steak is done. So that was a real lesson in tolerance and privilege and the real quality of life we have in the United States. So I think when you go through something, any wartime experience, you appreciate that. And I've always thought that it would really be a wonderful requirement for any person elected as president, or even some of our offices, responsible offices, to have gone through either combat or have been in the service in a war zone, because you really wind up appreciating what you have in the world. And even now, what was that? It's 40 years, 50 years later. I still have a great appreciation for just the simple things in life,
Wow.
the joys we have. So that's the story.